you. All right, so welcome to the Generative AI workshop. Today we're going to be checking out a few tools that's been in the news lately. Dall-E, ChatGPT, and DID. I want to just recognize it's 7:17 now, and as a person that grew up with project management, I'm very conscious of time. So I will stop at 8 to allow those that have to leave at 8, but I will continue. So at 8, I'll leave you all the materials, and then we'll continue for a little bit more if you want to stay back. Appreciate that some of you are very curious about this. So I'm happy to go for another 20 minutes, and then we'll end it at 8:20 for those that do have time to stay back. Those that don't, you'll have the material to go ahead with. So I'm going to go very quickly because, well, short on time. So let me just, for some reason, I can't get this to present properly. So let's present it this way. So a little bit about me, for those that don't know me. So in my regular day job, I work at a company called Audience View. And in that capacity, I am one of the senior leaders over there. But I do many things outside of work. So here, I'm actually president of Project Managers United Toastmasters. And so you're definitely seeing some of what we do here. We practice being leaders in speech and communication and leading teams. I also volunteer at Project Management Institute. I'm also very active in a community called XR Women. So for those that don't know, that's all around extended reality and that metaverse community. And I'm also very active in the Women in Customer Success group. So very much a person that's around in the community. For today, here's what I want you to think about in terms of the key takeaways. I hope that what you get from this is an appreciation of what's coming in AI and already what's already here. That's number one. And I'm going to give you some actual practice on some basic AI tools. So that's number two. And then number three, that, as we move ahead with AI, there are many things that will become a little uncomfortable. And so hopefully you come away with just embracing going outside your comfort zone. All right. Today, we've got 4 exercises, and we'll walk through that. This is the agenda. We've got 5 things, and I'll give you a brief overview and recap of AI history. So first exercise, I would like you all to just take a moment, reset. Number 1, rename yourself in Zoom. So in Zoom, you have the ability to rename yourself. Pick something, all right? I want you to create a digital avatar because for the next little while, you're going to be somebody you're not usually. So the other thing I want you to do is go in your Zoom, go change your image, put on a filter or become another avatar. So I'm going to stop sharing right now because at the end of this, I want to take a photo with all of us as our digital avatars as we're going through the workshop. And I actually do want to see you because I actually can't see you right now. So I'm going to stop sharing just so I can see you. So you would have to have your camera on. So let's take a moment in Zoom, you're going to have to turn your camera on. Let's put some video filters here. And let's do that. All right. I would like to see some avatars coming in. Or some filters. All right. Thanks, Curtis. I see Leah's got that. Wise. Okay. Janja, beautiful. Okay, Didier, nice little pizza hat. One of the things as we think about where we're heading is your digital identity will become something that you need to think about going forward. One of the beautiful things with digital avatars is that you get to put on digital makeup, you get to reimagine yourself in the digital space as whoever you want to be. It takes away many people's fear of their own physical appearance. And so there are lots and lots of research being done about representation in the digital space. I love this, all these avatars. So, pick something, come on in. At the end of this, we'll take a photo, all right? Because I think it's beautiful to do something like that. Optimus Prime, yes, you have a question?
Remind me how I get this fancy pickup thingamajiggy. Blur backgrounds or rename?
Go to video, click on that and go choose video filter or choose avatar.
Ah, okay, got you. Video filter. Thank you. Appreciate it.
We're good.
Yep.
All right, that was our first exercise. I see some of you have done it, some of you haven't. Please do feel free to continue to play. Like I said, we'll do a photo at the end of this. All right, I'm gonna bring up my screen again if I can figure out how to like share properly. All right, let's kill that and that. Let's try again.
Not good.
Okay, that worked. Great. Okay. That was exercise number 1 in the workshop. So a little bit about AI. I'll just take less than 5 minutes. If you think back, it all started in 1956 is typically what they say AI started, when AI started. And there was this group of about 20 or so pioneers in computer science and cognitive science who came up with artificial intelligence. They defined it as the field of computer science dedicated to solving cognitive problems. So things that were associated with human intelligence. So learning, problem solving, pattern recognition, right? And this was 1956, so almost 70 years ago when this first came out. So I want to just kind of talk a little bit about what's happened over the last 70 or so years. We've seen that evolution in technology. So you know Moore's law, right? Moore's law came from, or is named after Gordon Moore, who's a co-founder of Intel. And back in 1965, he predicted that the number of components on your IC or your integrated circuit would double every 1 to 2 years. That became kind of like Moore's law, and that became kind of like the trajectory of technology as we know it today in its exponential growth, right? So very rapidly we see technology just compounding upon each other year upon year. So Moore's law has been followed throughout the last 50 years. So from 1970, when the number of transistors on an IC was about 1,000 back here, to where it is, you know, in 2020 at 50 trillion. And so when you think about this data is from a website known as the World in Data. So it's been on that trajectory. So we're still on that trajectory. What's really interesting is that this trajectory, when it comes to AI in the last few years, AI is going even faster, right? So Stanford and you know, scientific publishers like Discover say that Moore's law is just, that's slow. When you think about that, that's scary, because it's going now that it's doubling every 3 to 6 months. All right, so this is how fast things are happening. So where's AI today in 2023? I want to bring up these 2 people, Stuart Russell and Peter Norvig, because they have published a book called Artificial Intelligence, A Modern Approach. This is the textbook for AI used in like every single university out there that's teaching people about AI. And so it's their textbook that's being used. What they are now talking about is human level AI. And what's human level AI? The machines can do anything a human can. So what does this look like in the future? AI should be able to do the work of a translator, a doctor. Think about it for us, like AI should be able to do things like project management. Another thing about 2023, I would be remiss not to talk about OpenAI. And again, we're going to look at the tools. But I had to bring up Mira Murati because, first of all, she's a woman. Yay! Okay, so she's the CTO of OpenAI. Incredible, you know, if you can find the interviews with her, right, it's worth reading. ChatGPT launched in late November. And in 2 months since their launch, they reached 100 million active users. All right, so it's the fastest growing consumer app to date. TikTok took 9 months to get to 100 million, and 100 million is no like small feat. Instagram took 2.5 years. ChatGPT did this in 2 months. And so that's why you're seeing a lot of ChatGPT in the news. Breaking news, it's coming so fast. ChatGPT, when it first launched at the end of November, was launched on ChatGPT 3. ChatGPT just dropped this afternoon. I haven't had time to play with it, but it just came in today. So it's available for those who have a paid tier. There's a free layer of ChatGPT, and then there's a paid one. So I'm on the paid one, and so ChatGPT 4 is now available. So that's a little bit about the trajectory so far. And so when we think about human level AI and where it will be in the future, what's really interesting, I won't go through a lot of this detail. I'll send you the links. When we think about that, generally the prediction is that we would reach human level AI, in which AI can do everything that humans can, between the years of 2040 to 2060. That's roughly what we're predicting today. And if you think about that, that's not that far away. And if you, for those with kids, so if you've got children right now, right, think about your daughters, your sons, they might be 10 now, and in 2040, 2050, like they're in their 30s and 40s, they don't have, like, machines would just take over. So that's fascinating when we think about that timeline. Okay, so that's just a little overview of AI in general. Now we're going to go into the workshop. So I would like to take you through the first one. Can you tell me in chat? So I'm going to check the chat here. Has anybody used Dall-E? Just go yes if you have. I see a no. Anybody with a yes? Oh, Mel, yes. Alex, yes, yes. Okay, I'm seeing some yes, which is great. I'm assuming the rest all generally knows. Okay, which is also fine. So let me, I'm gonna have to paste this in, hold on. Oops. Okay, we're gonna go into the workshop mode. And so I'm gonna give you the link to this in chat. Take a look at chat. Okay, so go to Dall-E 2 and open that up. While you're doing that, I will ask you to bring out a pen and paper first. All right, so take a pen and paper when you think about these things. First of all, you all probably have a favorite artist. So first of all, write down the name of an artist that you like, whether that's Picasso, Andy Warhol, or Georgia O'Keeffe. That's the first thing I want you to do. Second thing I want you to do is think about a mood. Okay, so it can be happy, you could be sad, you could be surprised. Write that down on your piece of paper. Got your artist, your mood. And then think about a setting. So I want you to think about like whether it's the seaside, the beach, the mountainside, that's a setting. Okay, so we've got three things. And then the last thing is just some random things, or it could be a fruit, could be an animal, could be an object. And so just put that all down on paper. And then we're going to go through this exercise together. I'll share my screen again so that we can actually see Dall-E 2 in action. And then I want you to try it. Okay, share screen. This one. Okay, so you should see something like this on your screen, Dall-E 2, yes? See nods? I have to work things out. I'm logged in. All right, so
yeah. Do we have to create an account, Jo-Ann, for the ones who are?
No, so these are free. These are free tools. Okay, so if you think about, and I'm going to show you this. So in my case, I'm going to go with like,
they asked me to sign up. I can't really use it.
Yeah, it's asking to create an account.
Oh, it is?
But I found that if you have previously created an account with OpenAI, let's say for ChatGPT, you should use the same email or Gmail account that you used for that, and it should work quickly.
Thank you. Yeah.
Sorry, for mine, I just click on try this, what's the name, Dell, and then just come to the end, same screen as Jo-Ann's.
Yeah.
So,
and then if you type in here and click generate, does it ask you to create to log in? Okay. So I put in a description, an angry raccoon fighting with the dustbin within the cityscape, comic style. And it's generated 4 pictures for me. So this is the Dall-E tool that uses natural language to generate images for you.
Sorry, Jo-Ann, I missed that part. So when tapping the artist name, should I continue to tap in the mood, the like happy or angry things? I missed.
Yeah, you could try it.
I was-
Yeah, and it will generate it based on the mood.
All right, thank you.
Have you ever seen a polar bear playing bass? Or a robot painted like a Picasso? Didn't think so. Dall-E 2 is a new AI system from OpenAI that can take simple text descriptions like a koala dunking a basketball and turn them into photorealistic images that have never existed.
Thank you. That was a great speech there. Appreciate it. There are some questions about, who owns the image when it's produced. So I think you do have to sign up with an account by the sounds of it. I've done this so long ago when this first came out, so I don't remember, but sounds like you do have to. So the owner of the art is actually a joint ownership. So for example, I've got 4 pictures here. This is owned by myself and OpenAI. That's the way that they have kind of worked through the ownership of the artwork. Okay, Paulina said, oh, you provide your phone number now. That's new. Okay. As you're doing this, it's just a bit of fun. I find, like, first of all, when this first came out, I think it was spring last year, we used this a lot with the kids too. It's fun activity for Halloween, for example. Some things that you can do is, if you like a certain image, then you can click on the 3 dots here, and then you can actually edit the image, or you can generate variations of it. So you could say, I would like more variations of this black and white one, and then away it would go. It's a great team building exercise. It's a great one if you want to just kind of create your own unique artwork. So it took my black and white original picture here, and it generated variations of it. So those are things that I can do, and I can download it. I've been using this for a while. So some things with it that's interesting. It doesn't like human faces. So I'll give you some examples here. So this one, it just doesn't come out right when it's a human face, because of the usage of human images was something that was discouraged. But it can do some really pretty ones. So a bonsai tree, like this is I thought one of the really nice ones that it did. I like fanciful things, so I did this one. But it's just really cool in terms of what it can do and how much you can render. So it saves all of that in a history as well. So again, you have the artwork at the end of the day that you could use, and it's yours and owned by you. Today, there are many other AI software that would generate images for you. Dall-E 2, this is Dall-E. Dall-E 2 is not available yet. I've seen Dall-E 2 and the work that they have done with Dall-E 2. It takes this and it goes 100 times better. It's very amazing, some of the images that you can create with Dall-E 2. So very much like Midjourney. If you're somebody that has used Midjourney, it's another one today that's available that renders really, really good images. So if you're into that and you want to play with that, I would suggest Midjourney today, and then otherwise wait for Dall-E 2 to come out shortly. Okay, so this is like, if you think about this for AI, it's taken natural text and it's using AI, it's translated it into an image. We're going to go into ChatGPT next, because that one is just, again, just an amazing tool. You're able to use it for in a conversation style, using natural language and doing something with it. So I'm going to take this elephant image, and part of our exercise, number 2, when we go into ChatGPT, is I'm going to give you a bunch of things to do with this image. So I'm going to stop sharing here, and we're just going to pop in the link to ChatGPT for you into chat. So just a show of hands, has anybody got an image that they're liking so far that was generated by Dall-E?
No, but I could see where it could help with brainstorming.
Okay.
Throws a lot of options at you.
Okay.
I think it would be good fodder for starting a creative product.
Yeah, this is just to get your feet wet. All right. And so, okay. Tanette there says, yes, that's great. Okay, I got at least one person that enjoyed the picture. Let's go to ChatGPT. How many people have not used ChatGPT? Because I'm pretty sure everybody has. Yes? Oh, in this case, no. Oh, okay. All right. Let's go to ChatGPT. All right. So I'm going to share my screen again. In terms of the exercise, here's what I've got you doing. So let's just go there first. My screen's all over the place. And tell me which one am I sharing? I'm sharing this one. Except I've got all of your pictures here. Let's just move this over. This over. So exercise 3, ChatGPT. You've created an artwork. I'm going to ask you to create a poem for your artwork with ChatGPT. With ChatGPT, we're not only going to create a poem, I'm going to step you through a bunch of things that you're going to be doing, because as an artist, you're going to be ultimately exhibiting your artwork in a gallery this summer. And we're going to go through all of that with ChatGPT. All right. And with ChatGPT, I think we can create the marketing campaign for it, put together a project plan and roll it out with an introductory email all within 10 minutes. So that's what we're going to do. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to do here, again, apologies for jumping all over, but I'm just trying to like toggle multiple things here. Okay, I'm going to share my screen. The first thing we're going to do with ChatGPT is we are going to create a poem for the art piece. So let's do that. I'm going to share this screen. Oops, where did you go? All right, here you go. Move that. Okay, introducing ChatGPT. If you're here, we're going to try ChatGPT. It's logging in. Like I said, we have ChatGPT 4 that dropped in today. The free version is ChatGPT 3.5, so I'm going to use that one. Okay, so my picture was an elephant eating ice cream. So I'm going to say, write me a poem about an elephant eating ice cream. So now it's writing me a nice poem. It's so long. Okay. It's so long. I'm going to say, please shorten this by half the length and make it humorous. Make it funny. Okay, so please shorten this by half the length and make it funny. That's great. All right. How are we doing on your poem for your artwork? I'm gonna check chat. Okay, everybody got a poem? The other thing that this can do, like you could tell it, you know, the best thing about ChatGPT is it's really the chat bit, right? So you can chat with it. I told it to make it funny. I'm going to say convert this to a haiku. So you could also do something like that, and it will just create a haiku for you. So very simple. Elephant on stroll, caught a scent and followed it. Ice cream was his goal. That's good. Like that's pretty good. I couldn't have come up with that myself, but it did it all. All right. So now that you've got like your poem about this, I'm gonna say create a tagline for this. Even elephants crave a scoop of happiness. Perfect. That's going to be my tagline. So I'm going to give you a project. The project is that we've got this artwork, we've got a tagline for it. It's going to be the centerpiece of an art exhibition that we're going to host in summer. So we would ask ChatGPT to do a few things for us. One is come up with a plan for launching your artwork for summer. That's, you know, going to allow you to kind of create that plan. So that's one. And so if you think about how powerful this could be, you could say, create. Actually, I'm going to have you try it and then I'll do it. So try asking ChatGPT to create a project plan that allows you to launch this art piece as the centerpiece in a gallery in summer.
Jo-Ann, could you repeat that instruction again? Launch for the art gallery in the summer. Launch
to launch your art piece at a gallery, and you could ask it to recommend some galleries for you. Like it's just a conversation. Imagine like this is your personal assistant. Okay, so I typed that in, and so far here's what I got. I'm assuming you all got something different, yes? Okay, but you can see the power of doing this, right? Paulina, the plan incorporated e-commerce sales, marketing plan, even identified a budget and success criteria. Exactly. So the more detail you can give it. So for example, this is a very broad project plan. I'm going to say, can you create a weekly timeline for this project, assuming that we start on March, I'm going to give it tomorrow, 15, 2023, and we launch on, let's pick a date, June 1st, 2023, and I have a team of 2 people working on it. So now it's going to give me a week by week outline of what I should be doing. Okay, so it's a great start, right? Are we impressed so far by ChatGPT? I'm seeing nods. All right, so follow this weekly timeline, you can successfully launch. Yes, in fact, like, as Paulina said, if you gave it a budget, it'll break down the budget for you. All right, so this looks very hard to read. I'm gonna say, can you put this in a table with the weeks in rows? Yeah, oh, much better, much better. All right, thank you. Much easier to read. I like table structures. Okay. Now, again, ChatGPT and all the power that you see with AI is not meant to replace the job. For me, I think like it just saved me 1 hour of my time. And now I can fine tune this and make it my own and make it really, really good. And then I have, like it saved me 1 hour, honestly, that I would normally have taken. And so with my 1 hour that's back, I can spend time with the family. And for me, that's the biggest bang for ChatGPT. So we've got a project plan that we can follow. We can put in budgets if you want. I would encourage you to take the next 2-3 minutes, play with it a little bit more, because I'm going to do the next thing, which is once we've got our plan here, we're going to launch it. So we'll do that next. All right, 1 minute's passed. ChatGPT actually is pretty good. So in 1 minute, you should be able to get a new launch plan. So we're going to keep going. Let's get some sponsors. So write an email to seek sponsorship. Can't spell it, sponsorship for this event. For my family and friends. Okay, now I have a good outline of an email that I can tweak and adjust if I want. Now, I might not like this, so I can say, can you write me 3 variations of this email? Great. Now it doesn't look like I just, copied and paste the same email to all of my family and friends. We actually have 3 variations that I can use as I talk to my family and friends about sponsoring this event for me. So that's another way that you can use ChatGPT. As you look at that, you could, tell it, again, if you want to inject humor, you want to be more professional, you can say, I need this to be a little bit more friendly, and it'll write that for you. So those are incredible ways of using ChatGPT. So we've got our project, we've got our email. The one thing I want to say is that you can try language translation. So the other beautiful thing is, can you write this for me in French? Didier, look at that. I can send this letter to you, Didier.
Oh,
Cool? Yeah, beautiful. I love it. Saved me 2 days now. Now I can go on vacation for 2 days and I know this is done. So, again, part
it's
of
very
it is,
good.
yeah,
It's very good.
Yeah.
Yeah, very good.
Okay. We can try other languages. Who wants to try another language? Give me a language. I'm assuming you have to know the language, because we're going to ask you to give it a rating.
Yeah, Spanish.
Spanish? Write this in Spanish. Okay, Spanish speakers, how is it? Good, bad, no? Any Spanish speakers?
Learning, but it's pretty good.
Yeah.
I get it.
Janja, you get that? Okay, all right, that's pretty good. So, you think about that and like all of the things that you typically would worry about in 2022, you don't have to worry so much in 2023. Translation of something that you're writing, you got a good basis here. Instead of using Google Translate, like this uses natural language a lot more. And so that's one of the beautiful things here. I've started using ChatGPT in my regular life just ever since it came out. And like, I have so much time now. And that's the God honest truth. Like, it's just an incredible tool. So ways that you also, I would encourage you all to just kind of explore. There are many resources on LinkedIn that talk about how you can prompt. So you can learn how to prompt ChatGPT to get what you need, because it's the conversation. So you have to have a conversation with it, and kind of almost treat it like your personal assistant and say, hey, what do you think about that? Or can you tell me this in a way that I can understand? Tell me this in as if I was 11 years old, dumb it down for me. And then it will actually do that all for you. Okay, so we're coming up to 8. I'm going to take some questions on this, and then I'll pop in the link to DID, and then we'll continue the DID bit after 8 o'clock. So first of all, I love to just kind of hear what as you've been using this, what's it been like for you, like right now?
I never used it, and I'm quite impressed.
Okay, I'm quite impressed. Optimus Prime, Ryan, you've got your hand raised.
Thank you. I'll try to keep my questions short. I purposely have not used this because, to be honest with you, I wanted to be guided into this thing by an expert and someone that I trust. So even though others at my workplace are using it, I am impressed, but partly scared, partly because I do not know how to use this tool. And I will, since you said you'll stay behind, I have about 4 questions, but I'll leave the space. I will say this very quickly. Years ago, there was when we were all in primary school, a little fellow came to school in April, and the teacher said to us, well, you know, he's so new, he's come late in the school year. Can you boys all help him, you know, get acclimatized to school? It turned out that the guy was more brilliant than all of us. And about 4 of the boys took him behind the school and beat him up, because here we were feeling sorry for him. I cannot deny that I kind of feel this way about it. Now, on the other side, as a programmer, even though I'm an expert programmer, I no longer code without Google or Stack Overflow. I realize the potential, but I don't know how to use it. And that's why I have a bag of questions for you after.
Okay, we'll deal with that after the call. We can talk about code. It does coding, but we can talk about that. So I'm going to keep going. In the interest of time, just checking, does anybody else have their hands raised? I see a question in the chat there. Helena, can you give us a few examples? I could. So ChatGPT actually is just really good. I'll save that for after 8 o'clock, if that's okay. We'll go to DID in the last kind of like 6 minutes before 8 o'clock, because you can see that with OpenAI, there's Dall-E, which is the image generation. This one is the most popular thing in the world right now, which is natural language chatting, artificial intelligence. Want to talk about DID, and this will be of interest to those that do videos. So this is DID. Let me drop that in chat. Okay, so Studio DID is, again, you can create videos in Studio DID using images. So I'm going to go in as myself. One sec. I think with this one also, you'll be asked to create a login. And you should see a whole bunch of videos. Okay, so this is my avatar, but let's go create a video. So if you don't want to use your own image, then they have stock images that you can use, as you can see. So you could pick an image that they have. It could be full body if you want, like you have to upgrade. I didn't go with the upgrade, so you could use this, or you could add your own picture, right? So you could add a picture of yourself that's like a real picture, or you could do a avatar digital representation of yourself. I like the digital one because it's that way they know like it's AI generated, like I didn't actually record it. They also have now AI presenters, so you're able to choose these. This is really good for videos because you can put this and then you type your script. So before, when I needed people to give me their videos, I would say, can you go record and give it to me? And then they will take like 2 weeks because they have to do it over and over and over again. And then they'll give me their videos and then I have to go splice it. Now you could just type your script in here. So I'm going to use my poem There's my poem. I'll just scroll up and get my poem. I'm going to take my haiku. So you could put that in here, and then you could play it. Now, the nice thing about the idea as you're doing this is you can choose your accent, which is amazing, right? Like I want to be an English, I want to speak English, but the closest thing to my accent might be Singapore, might be Hong Kong. I'm from Malaysia, but they don't have Malaysia here. But you can see like Nigeria, they allow you to really personalize the language or the speech to your accent. You could type in a different language in here and then just obviously change it to be read in Dutch, Chinese, Spanish, whatever you would like. If you want it to be your own voice, there's this option to upload voice audio, and then it will learn your voice patterns, and then it would generate that. So that's also optional. So I'll show you an actual video. So I did a lunch and learn at my company. And so that I did a 13-second kind of video because that's our attention span. But I did it in French, and then I did it in Spanish, and then I did it in English. So I wanted to be inclusive of my company because with so many languages in my company, and I wanted to invite all of them to come to the lunch and learn on VR, and so I did it in these multiple languages. So all I did there was I don't know whether I can actually see it. No, okay. So I would have to play it because you generate the video and then you actually would be speaking in that language. So I'm going to speak in French here. I don't know if you can actually hear it. Let me try and play this.
No, we can't hear it.
I think when you share, you have to share the background sound as well, Jo-Ann.
I have to share background sound?
Yes, whenever you share, you can share the background sound, I think.
Okay, hold on. Let's try that.
Bonjour.
I meant in Zoom.
Joignez-vous à moi mercredi prochain pour un dîner-conférence durant lequel je partagerai avec vous la présentation à propos du Web 3 que j'ai donnée à Intix en janvier et que je donnerai à nouveau en mars prochain au TPC.
So
Okay,
that's
I'll go to the TPC, yes.
you go to TPC. Yeah, so this one's Spanish.
Hola AV. El próximo miércoles, únete a mi Lunch and Learn, donde estaré compartiendo mi presentación sobre Web 3 con ustedes. Presenté esto en enero en Intix y también lo estaré presentando en TPC en marzo.
So you can see how like that's all done like within minutes, and I don't have to practice. I don't have to do any of that. It just became so easy for me to generate this video. So again, if you're in this industry where you have to, kind of communicate to people, amazing tool that will be coming very quickly into the hands of everybody. And this is how we can communicate in multiple languages, etc. We're at 8 o'clock. We've kind of like, I've rushed through it, but I'm trying to hope, and I'm hoping everybody has got a taste of like the first baby steps in Dall-E, baby steps in ChatGPT, and baby steps in DID. You've got, those 3 links in there. You can always just reach out to me on LinkedIn if you want to continue chatting, but I'm going to hand it back to you, Didi, and then we'll continue maybe for another 20 minutes. I'll stick around to just do a few other things for this, and apologies for like the rush with it. There's just so much to cover.
I think Alex had a question.
Alex, where would you not use ChatGPT? Which tasks would you prefer not to automate? I don't know the answer to that, to be honest. ChatGPT is so new. And part of the reason why I'm doing this workshop is that the more people we have using it, the more we can kind of chat with each other and figure out how to use this. I would say that everything that I've kind of thrown at ChatGPT to say, well, maybe I could use ChatGPT for that, and I've thrown something at it, it's always given me something back, like literally within 2 seconds. So I'm always able to like go, that's not going to work. But what's fun about it is I'm able to continue the conversation and get it to tweak and tweak. And like after spending like less than 5 minutes, I'm way ahead of where I was 5 minutes ago. So I haven't found something that I have not been able to use it for. I've even used it to give me advice. So I'm going into a conversation where I know the person's going to disagree with me. Can you tell me what to do? And like, honestly, like, it's my best friend. So it'll actually tell me what to do and say, do all of these things. And it may be wrong, but my best friend is also wrong. And so if I'm getting advice from ChatGPT, ChatGPT is based on the entire 2021 kind of like web information in Wikipedia. Like, you can go look where it gets its information from. It's based on 2 entire libraries of books. So it's the machine learning behind it has learned so much. So the way that it works is it predicts the next word that's going to come out of it. So there's a bit of that science behind it. I find it useful enough. Like, it's not any worse off than your best friend giving you bad advice, is all I can say. Okay, so any other question? It doesn't write breakup letters for you. Oh, it does, Paulina. It does. You can ask it to write it, and you can say, I want you to be very sensitive because this person, or you can say, I'm writing this to a very sensitive person. Can you word it accordingly? So yes, do that. You'll be surprised. Tenet, prompts. Yes. So prompts is just Tenet, that's just like as you typing in and conversing with ChatGPT, that's just what we call prompts. If you go to LinkedIn, there's a guy that does, he's got a e-newsletter that's pretty good. So every day he'll say, here's one way to prompt ChatGPT. And again, it's just on a daily, it just kind of pops into your inbox. And it gives you an idea about how to prompt ChatGPT to get stuff. So he'll say, like, try doing things like explain how the ocean works, as if I was 11 years old. So he'll give you ideas about how to prompt ChatGPT to get what you want. Okay. Would worldwide adoption of ChatGPT cause sort of a world of internet groupthink? Yeah, so there's a lot of controversy, obviously, around ChatGPT, a lot of conversations about the what can happen to it going forward. And so there are many people that are for regulation of AI. And so the articles, if you read the OpenAI CTO article, you would find that a lot of the people who are thinking about AI are talking about wanting to have regulation for AI. All right. We're going to close out here. There are lots and lots of questions. And so I'll hand it back to DDA for now, and then we'll wrap up. I'm happy to stick around to answer questions. Thank you.